All right, we're back. This thing isn't working. Can you hear me? Is that better? Bob, sorry to wake you. Can you hear me back there? Yep, good. We're good. Welcome back, everyone. Did we lose anybody? Who let him in? Good morning, everyone. My name's Scott Rowan. I'm manager in stakeholder relations. So we're going to talk now for a couple slides on what's happening at Tarion. Despite Bob's own agenda, we're not going to talk about what's costing you and Tarion money. We were wondering what agenda he had, but that's not for the fall. But it's okay, it's Bob. Anybody knows it, Bob? We understand that. So, join the Tarion Connection Test Group. So for the last year or so, we've been working with a group of builders to test a new warranty management service called Tarion Connect. Anybody in the room part of that? Yeah, we've got, for those watching on the webcast, we've got about a half a dozen people in the room, so great. And we're hoping to encourage more builders to sign up for the test version. Tarion Connect is an online portal that provides a single online dashboard for homeowners and builders to interact and resolve issues online. So once a homeowner sends their forms on My Home, they can then add photos and details which port over to Tarion Connect. The builder can mark items as in progress, whether they're complete, or can indicate if an item is in dispute. The system flags disputed items for Tarion so that we can see there's an issue and step in and try to help to resolve it. This idea came to us from Common Elements side of our business. So any condo builders that have that are in the room or watching online know how those processes work. So where there is tracking throughout the builder repair periods and early intervention if needed from Tarion. So far we've had very positive feedback from homeowners and builders, and we're looking to add more builders so we can refine this even more. So if you're interested, please come and speak with us well, we've already had a break, so we're too late for that, but at the end. Or you can email us at stakeholderrelations@tarion.com. So some changes to BuilderLink. We've made some recent changes that we want to highlight for you. We recently enabled the ability to pay online by credit card, so you can run up those points, so that's good news. Get those points cards out. After submitting an application for new registration or renewals, previously you could only pay when submitting the application. You can also now update your contact details and construction plans. As a reminder, if you haven't set your permissions for electronic fund transfers, you may want to, so you can make registration payments, pay enrollment and security fees online. As another reminder, you can only pay security fees at the time of enrolling. They cannot be paid after the enrollment has been submitted. And as always, we have a dedicated BuilderLink support team. You can reach them at BuilderLink, all one word, at tarion.com if you have any questions with respect to that. So we've updated our audio and visual recording policy. If any of you may recall, it's always sort of been a no-go in so much as a homeowner wants to record either visually or audio during a conciliation inspection, but we sort of made some changes to that. The policy of generally not allowing recording has not changed, but there are some important updates to the policy that we wanted to highlight, mainly the process for asking for an exception to the recording policy. And I know some of you have reached out to myself as a stakeholder relations rep and some of the others with respect to that, asking the question when you're going into homes. And I guess the rule still remains the same. I mean, you can piggyback on our policy, but as within your own companies, you can have your own policies with respect to the recording at any of your inspections that you're going into homes. There may be exceptions made to the policy, and in the case where a homeowner or builder wants to record an inspection, they need to make a request in writing before the inspection. so that's imperative. And provide reasons why they want to record the inspection. Exceptions to this policy may be granted by Tarion on a case-by-case basis and will be decided on facts and merits of each case. For example, if a homeowner or builder submits that video or audio recording of an inspection is necessary for the accommodation of a disability under the Accessibility for Ontarians with Disabilities Act, or the AODA, then Tarion will assess the request and may grant an exception and allow video or audio recording. Any requests involving accommodation under the AODA must be made to the customer, and it's another web email, for you, customer service, all one word, @tarion.com, and to the attention of the Director of Customer Service. Any other requests for any reason other than the AODA should be made in writing to the Tarion representative assigned to the case, along with reasons for the request, and at least 48 hours prior to the inspection or appointment to allow for the request to be reviewed. Inspection scheduling. So after the last while, we've received a lot of feedback around scheduling. We understand that being able to connect with someone about your scheduling concerns is important to you, and we are sorry that we haven't been able to provide you with the service and resources you need. Early on in 2019, we transitioned scheduling to a dedicated customer service team. With this improvement, builders can expect increased live service and more timely responses from Tarion. But we continue to work to look for ways to improve the scheduling process and the availability of warranty service reps. Having a canceled conciliation inspection is a positive because it means that you've been able to resolve any outstanding issues with the homeowners without Tarion attending to inspect. But it also means that inspections are booked sometimes months in advance. So we want to change that, and so I've added additional resources in the warranty services team. We have added a team of trained warranty service reps who will be focusing solely on claims inspection, freeing up existing warranty service representatives to attend to more conciliation inspections. So before I turn things over to Brian, any questions with respect to any of that? No. Good.
There we go.
I can hear you.
All right, thanks, Scott. My name is Brian Stott. I'm a new addition to the Stakeholder Relations Department. I'm going to be working with the builders in the Ottawa-Kingston area, and I stopped in today to get to know some of you people, as I do live in the GTA and probably will interact with you guys as well. Let's go back here. You can hear me? Okay. So I'm just going to talk a little bit about 4 things that seem to have been a hot topic within Tarion over the last few months and last year. A lot of the staff raised concerns about some of the questions raised by the builders, and part of that related to abridged timelines. We're going to talk about sticker shock, which we mean is voiding a warranty. How does a homeowner or consumer void a warranty, and when does that not apply? Home inspections in the PDI, and some of the stuff we're doing around that and working with the different home inspection associations to ensure that that's a more seamless process, and also privacy concerns related to correspondence between homeowners, builders, and Tarion. Abridged timelines. Some of you may have been involved in cases where our timelines have been abridged. Abridged timeline does not mean we extend the warranty time frame, so it's not as though the 1-year warranty's working material is extended. It simply means the time for a conciliation may be adjusted, or the post or pre-conciliation repair periods may be adjusted accordingly. This can be done for a number of reasons. One of the main reasons that I see it happening is due to a builder becoming unwilling, unable, and not able to fulfill their warranty obligations. In that case, Tarion simply will skip the 120-day repair period, go straight to claim, and settle that directly with the homeowner at the in a much more quick timeline. There's no point in a homeowner sitting around waiting for a builder to come who's already been deemed unwilling, unable to resolve the defects. And the timelines for this and the circumstances which this is allowed are outlined in the Customer Service and Builder Bulletin 49. Some of the other reasons why a timeline may be adjusted would be due to an emergency, a no heat or cooling call. Typically, an emergency would be something that's going to continue to cause damage in the home, or a health and safety reason that needs to be looked at or addressed in a more timely manner. And in those cases will often resolve the issues in an abridged timeline. Builders can also ask for a bridge timeline, and that would basically be in the event of a material shortage, a labor disruption, or something like that. You guys probably remember the strike from a few years ago. Those are sometimes exceptions that may apply to an abridged timeline. All right. Some of you also may have had your trades putting stickers on furnaces or equipment saying, if you contact us to have your air conditioning installed, if you don't, you're going to void your warranty on your furnace. So that is not true, okay? Homeowner does not void the warranty on their HVAC system by installing their own furnace. This has come up a few times over the years, and we just want to reiterate to people, that does not void the warranty on the face of it, okay? If the contractor has done something, if the homeowner's contractor has done something that causes damage to the unit, then that can void the warranty. But simply by doing that will not void the warranty. So we encourage you guys to let your trades know not to put stickers like that on the furnace telling people that it's going to void the warranty. It creates a lot of frustration with homeowners, and a little bit of misrepresentation of what the warranty actually is. So that's something we would ask you guys to tell your trades not to do. So this has come up more frequently as late as well. Basically, information that is gathered from the homeowner and gathered from the builder, Tarion typically shares with the parties, okay? If a homeowner or builder asks us not to share that information with the other party, we will not consider that information as part of the conciliation process, and it will not be used to make our decisions, okay? If we can redact the information to protect the privacy of the person sharing that information, we will, and we will share it then. And we're going to be sharing relevant information to the claim. So if it's not relevant to the claim or the conciliation or the dispute involved, Tarion won't be sharing that with the homeowners. But it's always good to keep communications professional and above board. We've seen both homeowners and builders put things in emails that probably aren't the nicest, and it doesn't. Sometimes they do get released, and it's not a good situation when it does. So we recommend not doing that. So home inspections and the PDI. A lot of homeowners show up to their home inspector, to their PDI with a home inspector. We know it can be a little frustrating for you guys to have a home inspector running through the home looking for every little concern or issue that they may see in the house during the PDI, and it can really bog down the PDI itself. It can extend the timeline of it, and it's not necessarily beneficial to the homeowner as well. They really, if they're concerned, they should have a home inspector probably within the first 30 days or in the last 30 days of the first year to coincide with their year-end submissions. But you can't prevent a home inspector from assisting the homeowner on the PDI. So what Tarion's doing is we're working with the different home inspector associations to kind of educate the home inspectors on what the PDI is, to ensure that they understand that this is a builder event or a builder mandated inspection, and that the consumers are really there to work with the builder to understand their home, to look for cosmetic defects, to make sure that there's no damage, missing items, and those types of things. We are telling them that if you are going to go, feel free to make a list, but it's not the time to do your full home inspection, okay? So again, main thing from this is you can't prevent the homeowner from bringing a home inspector, but try and, it's your PDI, and try and, keep the homeowner on track, looking for the things that are important. Again, damaged, missing items, those types of things, and let the homeowner, home inspector, do what he needs to do, but try and keep them on track as best as possible. So Bob, we're going to do another warranted or not here? Sure, yeah. When was the last time you made a warranty call, Bob?
Thanks, Brian. Last time I made a warranty call in 1993. And I'm probably wrong. Anyways, I just mention on the home inspectors, we have been, we did a presentation in this very room a couple of weeks ago to a group of home inspectors, and we're talking about the fact that they can be, they provide good service to a homeowner, but it is the builder's, PDI is the builder's event and not to be disruptive. So we do work with both associations in Ontario and make sure that they have the information. There are some really good home inspectors out there. So I would encourage you, if you know a home inspector is going to attend, make sure, ask the homeowner if they have the designation to inspect new homes. Moving right along to warranted or not. So this came up at a year end. This is a stone cast marble fireplace around. The homeowner reported damage to the mantle on their 30-day form. The builder's warranty staff committed to give the homeowner a new mantle. However, the service person for that builder did not follow up. The builder chose to repair, then painted over the entire stone cast mantle. Before the year end, the builder repaired the damage and then painted the mantle. The homeowner was not satisfied with the repair. It may be hard to see, but warranted? Not warranted? Well, it was warranted. The fact that the builder committed to something wasn't the issue. The painting the stone cast marble to cover a defect or damage is not an appropriate repair. Second, it was done poorly with obvious brush strokes. This is also a good reminder to follow up on the promises made to your homeowner as well. But the call wasn't made based on that, but it was warranted. And I personally have dealt with the builder with regards to this. And I think in some cases they got, in this case, they got bad advice from their trade. Next one. This one came to us as a first year warranty issue. The concern is that the handles on the bedroom closet doors were not aligned. Warranted? Not warranted. Again, I'm sorry for the people on the webcast. There was a kind of a split on that, but more thought it would be warranted than not. And it was warranted. The doors themselves were not aligned. And being installed about 3 millimeters higher, one being installed 3 millimeters higher than the other. So it was only visually it was wrong, but there was also a defect in workmanship with regards to the alignment of the doors. This was kind of an interesting one. This was a first year issue, and homeowner submitted this stating that they didn't like how the vent was installed in the baseboard. Warranted? Not warranted? Again, a bit of a even split on that. So it was warranted, and it wasn't warranted for the location, which is not an ideal location, to say the least. It was warranted because if you're going to install a vent in the trim, at least install the trim up to the sides of the vent. So it was really a workmanship from with respect to how the baseboard was installed. So on a 30-day forum, the homeowner stated that the paint looked too purple in certain lights. The builder's response was that they suggested the paint color to the homeowner, and the homeowner chose which one to use. So warranted? Not warranted? It's definitely not warranted. This is a bit of buyer remorse, I suppose, where they pick something and when they actually physically see it, it didn't look the way they thought it was going to. So since it was a homeowner selection, they had to live with it. In this case, which is also a first-year issue, the homeowner concern was that the sod was dead around the sump pump discharge. Warranted? Not warranted? Again, there's a lot of fence sitters, but nevertheless, there was about an even split to who would say it would warrant it or not. It was not warranted in this case. The rest of the story is that the builder was able to show that they had provided a splash pad, but it was removed when the homeowner installed a sprinkler system. So it was not warranted. Here we have another sod issue, first year. This is bed sod. So you know the general rule that if installed in good condition, sod is a homeowner's maintenance issue. So in this case, warranted, not warranted. So no one suggested it would be warranted, and everyone said it wouldn't be warranted. However, surprise, surprise, we warranted it. Why? Well, upon this, when we inspected, it turns out the sod was laid directly on existing concrete and asphalt, which of course is not suitable. I should have probably said that right in the beginning, right? So, I mean, sod will grow on asphalt or concrete if you water it for a couple of weeks, and eventually it will die. Somewhat interesting one, these are heat marks on the ceiling. This came to us in the first year as well. The homeowner, with the concern that the homeowner installed light fixture left heat marks on the ceiling. You can see the dark spots, obviously. Those aren't shadows. They are from the heat of the bulbs. Warranted? Not warranted? Again, by a show of hands, everyone said it wasn't warranted, and it wasn't warranted. There is no defect in the drywall or paint that caused it to discolor from heat. The issue here is that the homeowners installed the light either too close to the ceiling or used bulbs that put out too much heat. But this ended up on a list because they had concerns. So it's the responsibility of the builder to educate the homeowner if there's something that they don't understand. So this is a first year issue. The builder made some repairs to the bricks above the garage. The homeowner then reported that the mortar used above the garage is different than the rest of the house. Warranted? Not warranted? For the most part, everyone warranted it. So it is warranted. It is quite an obvious eyesore, and it's an obvious defect in work material. So when you make a repair, it has to be done properly. This was very poorly done. So that concludes our session for today. Thank you all for coming, but I'm not going yet. If you have questions, we will be happy to answer them. And for those on the webcast, if there's any questions, hopefully they submitted them. But we will also be around after this session for a bit if someone has specific issues that they may want to talk directly to us about.
We have one online about the condo information sheet. It's got two separate scenarios. If construction has started, that is footings poured, January 1st, 2020, but no agreements of purchase and sale have been signed by the vendor, do we still need to include the information sheet? And the second scenario is if the first 5 units...
Sharon, can I interrupt you?
Yeah.
Let's answer the first scenario
Okay.
first so we don't get our facts mixed up. So if whether you need to include the information sheet has nothing to do with when construction starts. It's when the first arm's length agreement of purchase and sale is entered into. So even if you start construction now, as long as the first agreement of purchase and sale is entered into after January 1st, 2020, you need to include the information sheet.
Thank you.
Scenario 2?
Scenario 2, if the first 5 units are signed after January 1st, 2020 and include the information sheet and then construction commences, footings poured, do the remaining units still need the information sheet?
Yes, all units would need the information sheet because the first agreement of purchase and sale was entered into on or after January 1st, 2020.
Thanks, Amy. Oh, Scott wants to add to that.
Just to add to that, commencement of construction has nothing to do with it. It's solely based on the first agreement of purchase and sale. So the simplest way to remember it is, as long as there's at least one arm's length, in other words, not sold to your cousin, kid, uncle, whatever it is, so what they deem as an arm's length agreement of purchase and sale, then that project and or phase, you don't have to include the updates to that. So it has nothing to do with the commencement of construction.
Sharon, I think we had one more from the webcast.
About the recording policy?
Mm-hmm.
What about the Ontario Criminal Code stating that it is legal to record in Ontario without divulging to the other party as long as one party consents, that is the homeowner? What if the homeowner does record? Is it admissible in court?
So our recording policy is about what takes place during our process, our inspection process. If you're concerned about this, I would suggest that you ask your own legal counsel because it's not something that we can provide legal advice on.
Thanks.
Any other questions from the floor? Any other webcast questions? Okay. Well, thank you very much, everybody, for joining us today. For those of you who are here in person, we are around. If you have questions, anything case-specific you'd like a hand with, we're happy to chat with you. If you're joining us from home, please remember, or the office, please remember you can always get in touch with your stakeholder relations representative. If you're not sure who that is, you can email us at stakeholderrelations@tarion.com.
Thanks again.